Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Joel Story of the Chevy Nerd over here in Colorado in Grand Junction. I'm doing a custom video for a good couple that I met over the phone. We chatted online with some FaceTime, all that kind of stuff. Was able to show them all their products before, making the decision on it. But now I want to do a custom video. So Sam, Kenyon, this is for you guys. I wanted to go ahead and show you your brand new vehicle. This is going to be the 2026 Chevrolet Suburban with a 6.2 liter engine. Let's take a look at it. So now we have this beautiful Suburban here, 2026 High Country. I love this one here because we have the white frost color on there. It's a beautiful color, has that nice glisten to it. In this one here, we have obviously the 22-inch wheels that really pop, especially with a lot of that black and white contrast. It's just a beautiful pairing. Now going into the interior, we have that beautiful cocoa dune interior. This is probably one of my favorite interiors, and for whatever reason, not many dealerships order it this way. I have no clue why, but right over here, when it comes to the High Country is going to be introducing on both driver and passenger side automatic seats with lumbar support. So it does give us that nice comfort there when it comes to that. Now, as we board the vehicle, one of the things that we're going to be seeing here, nice little touches such as this guy here. This is going to be that nice wood trim. The wood trim is specific, so it is different on every other vehicle. You're not going to see the same patterns, which kind of sets it apart and makes it very unique. We're going to be seeing right towards here a couple of the physical buttons for your air conditioning. You're going to have options of controlling things here and also in the screen, which we'll go over as well. You'll have your wireless charging pad here. You can set up your iPhone, AirPods, any of that kind of stuff, as well as USB-C and regular USB. Okay, we have our options here when it comes to your cup holders, and this guy here is that movable center console. I'll show you that a little bit here in a second. Towards the top, we're going to go ahead and take a look at some of the functions for the sunroof, which is over there. I'll give you guys a little bit better panoramic view here in a second. But right over here, we're going to be able to see everything that we need to when it comes to the sunroof. So sunroof, we have our tilt action here. That tilt action is going to just open up the rear a little bit. This is going to slide your cover for the sunroof, and this is actually going to open up the sunroof, and we'll see that in action here once I turn it on. Right over here, this is the motion for your center console. So this can move the center console back to add more storage and as well as hidden compartments. This is going to be for your automatic liftgate, which you can program two different settings. You have your max open 3/4 of the way or off. Now, when we do 3/4 of the way, that's an actual programmable setting there, so you can actually adjust it to a specific height that works best for you. And then right over here, you're going to have the option to lower the third row. So this is super easy and accessible there as well. Obviously, here within your lighting, you can push on there to turn your lighting on and off as you drive. And then you'll notice a little camera here to kind of keep an eye in the back seat and make sure everybody's staying out of trouble. Right over here is also to turn off your Wi-Fi settings. So just in case you want to turn off Wi-Fi, the kids are annoying you, you're like, nope, no Netflix for you. Boom, you can turn it off. So kind of neat. So that kind of covers that there. Right over here, we have your rear mirror, which is also doubling as a camera, and I'll show you how that works here shortly. So let me go ahead and jump into the driver's side and start showing you guys some buttons and all that stuff. All right, guys, so I climbed up on here. We're going to turn the vehicle on, close these doors here. So a couple things. Let's start kind of covering the ones that I started with up here. So right over here, we're going to have, like I mentioned before, the sunroof. So this guy here kind of closes that panel up here. So as you can see, it's going to open it up, and then if I pull it down, it's going to go ahead and close it up. So that'll encompass the entire area there. Okay. All right. So pretty nice and easy. That's going to kind of give us a little bit better lighting in the vehicle as well. But like I mentioned before, to open the actual glass and then just to tilt the rear so we can let air in, these are some of those buttons there. Okay. Now for the center console, we're going to have this little guy here. Now I do have one of my new colleagues here. Say hi, Jacob.
How you doing today?
All right. So right over here, we're going to have the sliding rear console here. So right over here, all we have to do is click on this little guy here and watch the magic happen. That rear sliding console will slide on back to allow additional room and storage. So instead of, when you have your purse or a little satchel or whatever, you throw it on your hubby. You're not going to do that anymore. You're just going to set it here and have that nice space. You're probably thinking, well, am I going to really put my shoulder right back here or my elbow back here? Nah, you're going to go ahead and slide this sucker forward and then have your positioning there so you can still enjoy that storage down there. Now, there's another hidden compartment right down here. So this guy here is lockable too. Within the center console, you'll be able to set a password on there if you want to go ahead and lock it and keep anything that you need private. So if you do carry or anything like that, that could be a little safe spot for that as well. So by doing that, we obviously move the cup holders back for the rear and then give them a little bit easier access to the air conditioning in the back. Now, as we look at the front here again, I mentioned this guy was going to be that mirror there. So obviously, as we take a look, we set it up for ourselves there. But let's say we get a little greedy and buy too many things in the back and then kind of put it sky high. Well, we won't be able to see that window in the back. So when that happens, we just go ahead and underneath here, fold that down, and now we have a full camera. The camera is fully adjustable there. We can go ahead and adjust brightness. We can also go ahead and adjust a zoom, and then we can adjust tilt so we can get the best visibility possible. When you're out zoomed out, you can see up to 3 car lanes, which is a big help, covering a lot of blind spots in the car. So let's take a look at your steering wheel now. So within the steering wheel, we're going to see a couple new things here. We're going to see this little black bar here, which is going to be your Super Cruise that works alongside this little camera here, and I'll explain that a little bit there. I just want you to know where everything's at first. Left-hand side, we're dealing with a lot of things such as cruise control, turning on your cruise control, turning it off, stopping cruise control while it's active. So if you want to go ahead and slow down or just disengage, you can click here. This is where you would set and reset. So once you turn cruise on, you're going to see this little symbol that pops up over here. And then when you're ready at whatever speed, you just click down and then it's set at that speed. Once you're done and you want to kind of cancel it, you can click here and it cancels it, but it saves the speed you were at before. So if you want to go back, you can just click reset and then it carries you right back on. From here, this is going to be your Super Cruise button. This is going to take your travel to the next level, because at this point you have completely hands-free driving on the interstate, or any of the maps that are added onto the Super Cruise maps you'll be able to use. Right now, the majority of the interstates are available there. This button right here is going to be your limited gears, as we no longer have that standard shifting column where we have that plus and minus. This is going to allow us to shift here into our limited gears using these paddle shifters right over here. We can upshift, and then over here we can downshift. So it gives you full control of the 10-speed automatic transmission that's in this vehicle. Now, if we take a look at the side over here, we're going to see additional options here. Things such as your parking brake, things such as your 4-wheel drive, trailer braking, all that kind of stuff. And this guy here being your lighting for the dash. So you want to set this up at night, so you set it up to the brightness that best works for you, so it's not glaring at you. Makes things a little bit easier. Once it's set, just leave it that way and you're dialed in. Towards the top, parking brake. This is a quick access to your 360 camera. Once you push that, it actually pulls it right up onto that screen. Okay, pretty nifty stuff. Parking sensors, you can turn them on and off. Automatic start and stop. This is that government mandated thing for emissions that I guess recently was, they changed in the law. So at this point you can turn it on and off, all that kind of stuff. So I don't know what the future is going to bring with that, if they're going to keep them on cars or not, but who knows. Right over here, we have lane keep assist. This allows us to stay within our lanes. So as long as this sucker's on, you're going to go ahead, and as long as you're at 45 miles an hour or 40 miles an hour or more, if you're veering off the lanes, you're going to have a nice little tug back in and brings you back into your lane. Right over here, you have traction control. Most people don't mess with this, but if you get into an area where you're stuck in mud and all that kind of stuff and want to release this so you guys can try to dig yourselves out of it, that's what you would do. Then over here, you have hill descent. Hill descent allows you to go ahead and control your descent from a hill at 30 miles an hour or less. So this is not for going onto the interstate, up in the mountains, going 60 miles an hour, not for that. This uses the disc brakes to go ahead and have a nice control. So if you're coming out of a cabin or somewhere up high in the mountains where you're just kind of off-roading a little bit and you need to slowly descend down, this is what you would use. This guy here is self-parking. So when you click on there, the self-parking options will pop up over here. So let me go ahead and show you that. It may not pop up now just because I'm in park, but let's take a look here. Let me go ahead and put it into drive here. Once I click on here, then it opens up this screen here where you can pick how you would like to park, perpendicular or parallel. So pretty cool stuff. So let me put this back into park here. And then just natural stuff, 4-wheel drive, all that, pretty simple. Now this guy is a key feature about this vehicle here. This is going to be your mode selector for different driving styles. So if we kind of toggle it over here, you're going to see different driving styles that appear. Go ahead and click off of this guy here. Let's see, exit. So once I toggle this, you're going to see a change here into normal, sport, off-road, and tow haul mode. So during normal, obviously everyday driving, sports mode tightens your steering a little bit. Okay, so steering's going to handle a little bit different, but it's more responsive on the highway at higher speeds. Okay, and then when we're dealing with off-road, it does the opposite. It loosens this guy up a little bit more, so you're not fighting against the gravel or sand or anything like that you're going against. It's a lot easier to turn that steering wheel. Okay, and then at the last point, tow haul mode, at this point lets the vehicle know that you are towing a large amount of weight, so at this point the transmission can shift properly to give you the best performance without overheating. So we have a really good setup there. Okay, now to the side we have the marriage saver here. Marriage saver is super easy to set up. 1, 2, 3, and exit. So 1, obviously this is most likely going to be for you, Sam. You could go ahead and click on that, program your seat, so you'll be able to adjust the seat just how you like it, different heights, all that kind of stuff. And then you can also adjust your steering wheel back here, adjust your mirrors out there through here. Okay, and once everything's adjusted and to your liking, all you're going to do is you're going to hit set and 1. Once you hear that double beep, it's locked in. Now, when Kenyon's going to drive this vehicle, all you're going to have to do is hit set and 2 once he sets everything up. Now, depending on kind of your guys' height and all that kind of stuff, my situation is that I typically have to drive super close with my wife in the car. So my legs are too long and she drives like right in front of the steering wheel. This is not comfortable to get in or get out of. So what you would use is going to be the exit position. When you do the exit position, set it up to the point where both you guys can comfortably get in and get out. This will allow you to, when you open the door right over here, you open it, automatically it's going to put everything back, allow you to pivot and exit out of the vehicle, and all you would have to do is hit the set and hit the exit just like that. So pretty cool setup there. Now, as we start taking a look at the infotainment system, very similar to a lot of technology nowadays, like iPhones, Androids, all that kind of stuff. It's very icon based, so the setup is super easy. Everything's pretty straightforward. For example, vehicle status, it does exactly that. It shows us what's going on with our car, so the aspect of maintenance, different gauges, and all that kind of stuff. So we can click on maintenance here. We can take a look at tire pressure, brake pad life, oil life, all that kind of stuff. One thing to keep in mind with the oil life, when that sucker reaches 20%, that's the time you want to call in and book your appointment at your dealership to go ahead and get that oil change. And remember, the first oil change is going to be on us, on General Motors. You'll be able to go ahead and go into any dealership and get the first oil change within the first 7,500 miles. They'll do a tire rotation, multi-point inspection, filter change, all that. Okay, so keep that in mind, don't forget. Right over here, we can go to different gauges, so whatever's important to us, whether it be transmission fluid. Let's say that you're towing, we want to check on the temperature, you want to keep that constant. Here's the thing, if we're towing and we want to keep a constant measure of this, we can click on that and hit add to driver display, and now it gets added over here. So it's a really cool thing that you can customize this screen based on whatever's important to you right over here. Okay. So different gauges, take a look at these, kind of go in there and see what's important to you guys. Different trips, your average fuel economy, all that kind of stuff, how long the engine's been running, so on and so forth. So pretty neat stuff. All right, let's go back out of here. The My Chevrolet app, we're going to help you set that up, so I'm going to go ahead and send you some OnStart notifications here to make sure that's paired up. You have Google Assistant, where you can go ahead and ask it any questions that it can answer while driving. So for example, if you wanted to go into, a quick burger joint, or maybe something over at the I don't know, anywhere you're going, like a quick pit stop, you can do that here. You can press on that, or you can also press over here, which activates the Google Assist. It's the same button that's over there too. And now that I realize, I forgot to talk about this side. This is going to be your voice command, which once again, Google Assist there. This is going to just pick your different radio stations, whether you're doing AM, XM, FM, all that stuff. Heated steering wheel, and this also switches your infotainment cluster there. So it shows you different information. All right. Now, getting back to this, Play Store. Play Store is where you download apps that you can add on there. Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, depending on the phones that you guys have, this will wirelessly pair. You do not need a physical cable to activate these two like there were before. On this one, you can just go ahead and pair up your vehicle or your phone wirelessly to this and activate Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and you'll see a display of your phone up here. Cameras, very similar button that we had on the other side over here. You can click here and still have your access to your camera views. Let's take a look at these. We have our front view in our camera, we have our overhead view, and we also have our side view. Okay, and that side view is going to be the front, so as I move the steering wheel, you see that the tires up front move. Why would we use this? Well, so you don't curve the crap out of your car. So, very cool thing there, or to take an approach angle. And then we take a look at the rear camera. We click here. We have our standard rear camera there, our overhead on the rear, and our side on the rear. Okay. We also have one additional one, so when we're towing, we can go ahead and have a hitch guidance. That hitch guidance goes straight down, so your ball and your hitch will be right here. It'll kind of stick out, and then you can line everything up, connect, and you're good to go. So right over here, you're going to have your trailering camera. So the trailering camera allows you to see blind spots if you're trailering. So that's another really cool one there too. From here on your settings, you can adjust what information you want to see. So a lot of really cool stuff. Park assist is also over here, just like it was on a button on the other side. Climate control, nice and easy. You just press on there. You can control your climates. I do get a little bit of confusion every once in a while with this one here. So this guy here takes care of the climate up front. This one here takes care of the climate in the rear. If the kids are too young and they can't reach the stuff, or they're just, you know, punks and you want to punish them, you can go ahead and lock them out of it, and you can control everything out here. But if they're responsible kiddos, you can unlock it and they can mess with their own stuff there. If you want to sync it to the same temperature that you have up front, just hit sync and you're good to go. And that'll sync over to this temperature here. So right in here, you can scroll through these guys. A lot of stuff here, maps, you know, the recording for the camera up top, so you can keep an eye on those guys too. And then the rear entertainment media here. You can click on the rear entertainment. You can turn the rear entertainment on and off. So once again, kids being punks, whatever, you can turn it on, turn it off if they're fighting. You can always listen to what they're listening to, since they are online with subscription services such as Hulu, Netflix, and all that kind of stuff. You want to obviously make sure that you're monitoring the content. You can always click on here to kind of listen into what they're seeing, what they're listening to, and kind of keep an eye on the kiddos. These are the different monitors that you guys can control over here too. So everything's pretty user-friendly here too. Okay. Now, as we look at these applications, there's certain ones that are probably not in spaces that are easy and convenient for you. For example, we use audio all the time in maps. So why are they in the second page? Well, you can fix that just by clicking and moving it over. And then very similar to how you guys use your iPhones or Droids, you can move the applications to wherever you find pertinent. Okay. So let's go ahead, and at this point, that kind of covers everything there real quick, guys. I'm going to do kind of a quick review for the things in the back, so let me hop on out. I forgot to talk about one last thing. We talked about the mode selector here, but I want to talk about this button here. This one is what makes this ride super special. This is adaptive air ride height. So when I press it, you're going to see the different levels of height that I have. So from here, I can adjust it into different ride heights. So I have entry and exit. I have normal, which should be your everyday driving. Then I have increased height, so we can have a much higher ride stance. And then when I am in four-wheel drive high, which is maximum height, I'd have to be in four-wheel low to access that. So that would be in a situation where you guys are off-roading and it's a pretty heavy off-road trail. You want to make sure you have the most clearance to make sure you don't damage your vehicle, so on and so forth. The other two versions of this are going to be your increased height, your normal everyday driving height, and your entry exit. With the entry and exit, the vehicle will lower all the way down, specifically if you have any family members that are a little bit older, or maybe just family members that have hip issues, whatever it is, to make sure that they can get in and out easily, or any small little children. That's going to be why you would use it. Once you start moving the vehicle, it will actually go ahead and adapt and increase its height. Now, the magical thing about the suspension too is that it does have a combination of what's called magnetic ride control, and this is essentially why you guys are going with the high country, is to give you that nice super smooth drive. Now, automatically when you guys are 60 miles an hour or more, the vehicle will lower down for aerodynamics to increase fuel efficiency. So, all right guys, as we enter the back, let me show you a couple things real quick. So right over here, this guy here, when we pull up, it will allow the seat to move forward and back. And then this guy here, we pull once, lowers it down, pull twice, it brings it right back up. Okay, so nice and easy. Quite a bit of space in the back here too. Now, for anybody that sits in the back, if they don't have anybody in the front to release it, they have their own little side button to do exactly what we just did with the handle. So you'll have that available right there, okay? Towards the back, we also have charging ports, USB-C, all that stuff that you might need in the back as well as on the other side. To put these back, it's super easy. We just push down, hear that nice little clip, fold up, and we're good to go. It always kind of folds towards the front, so we just go ahead and pull and slide on back. Let's go ahead and get on here. Get myself, I'm too tall. So now we're up. Now we're here. Towards the rear, we're also going to have the heated seats back here, right over there. 2 HDMI ports, USB-C and USB-C. So for a lot of games and all that kind of stuff, you'll be able to kind of plug everything in. And then underneath here, you're going to have your 120. So that 120 is important, especially if you have nerds like I do at home. I like to play video games, so you want to slap on that PlayStation, Switch, Xbox, any of that kind of stuff. You prop it on there, HDMI, boom, you're playing. So you'll be able to display the same image there. If you want 2 different images, that's why the other display port's there, but you'll be able to tell the screens to play based on HDMI 1 or 2. So a lot of really cool stuff there. Now, this vehicle is equipped with Super Cruise, which does give you 3 years of the complimentary internet connection, so you will have unlimited internet for 3 years on this particular vehicle here too. You have your web browser. Right now I don't have anything connected on there. Once we go into the web browser, you guys can go ahead and go into YouTube, Hulu, any of that kind of stuff, and go from there. So there's not a lot of options here because I haven't programmed the internet connection just quite yet, but it's super user-friendly and easy to kind of maneuver. So you'll be able to go ahead, pair up your headphones, all that kind of stuff, which I'll make sure that the headphones are in the vehicle before it takes off. So nice and easy there. All right, let's head out. Now towards the rear, we're gonna go head towards the back here. We're gonna click on this guy here. Now, this one does have another technology that I wanna go ahead and talk about, which is the automatic open. The automatic open has to be turned on up at the front. Okay, so you'll turn it on in the screen in the settings, and essentially what that does is if you come within a 4-inch perimeter here and you step here and you have the key fob on you and you wait for 2 to 3 seconds, automatically the door will go ahead and you'll see a beep and the door will go ahead and open up automatically. The feature's turned off right now because obviously we didn't want it to go open and close just by walking around with the keys while we're showing stuff. So just make sure that that is a feature you guys turn on if you like to use it. Right over here we have these guys here, which at this point can fold all the seats here. This is for the second row and this is for the third row. It's a nice easy press of the button here. You hold it and it folds that seat down. Press it back up, brings it right back up. Nice and easy. Okay. You'll have some your mats over here too. A little bit of underneath storage down here. So you'll have some storage. All of your tools and everything to get your spare tire are there as well. Okay. So to access your spare tire, you're going to go ahead and take off that, pull it out, and your spare tire's underneath there. Okay. Your hitch and everything is down there as well. There's going to be some clips there too. And hang tight, I kind of screwed up my back, so I'm going to get down here. So right underneath, there's your spare, and there's that little clip thing there. You just go ahead and grab that and twist it, and then this little guy pops off. So let's take a look at your engine. Real quick, guys, let me show you right up towards the front. This is a special bow tie, by the way. This bow tie will light up at night, so it's a really cool feature there. I ended up getting it onto my truck, but here's a quick tip. On the left-hand side of the bow tie, you grab your hand and you stick it in and you claw it and you pull to the right. When you do, you will always hit that, and that is on every Chevrolet vehicle in the market, except for the Cruze, which we don't have anymore, so don't worry about it. Okay. So right over here, let me go over a couple things here. Your battery's right over here, super easy. You just slide this over there. There's that vertical connection there if you need to jump it. Your ground is no longer here. You're gonna move right into this area here. So black goes here, red goes there. Okay. Fuse box right over here, okay? On this side here, you have your dipstick here. So you can check it there, boom. Nice and easy. And then on the right-hand side, we're gonna have your fluids here, okay? Windshield wiper fluid, coolant, okay? And your oil, nice and easy. And right over here, brake. So you have everything that you need to access. If you guys kind of paid attention to how it was done, everything is designed for you not to work from the front on it, but if not to work from the side. So here, now I have nice, easy access to everything that I need that I have to really mess with, okay? If I come over here, I have everything here. So I never have to cross from here, there. Nice little setup there. All right, showing you the last part. Let's talk about Super Cruze. All right, guys, so we're gonna show you what Super Cruze is all about. So it's very simple. So here's a couple instructions. We're about to exit into the interstate here. So as we go to the interstate, what we want to do is we want to pick up speed and we want to set our cruise control where we want it, okay? So first of all, what do we have to do? We got to turn on cruise control. So right over here, we're going to push the cruise control button. I'm going to start picking up some speed here. So once I'm ready, I can click my cruise button. Cruise is on, and you're going to be seeing it right over here. I'm not sure if you can see it there, but once cruise is on and I am on the interstate, we're exiting off the ramp here. What's going to happen is that I'm going to go ahead and set up my cruise right over here. So I hit the set cruise here, boom. Now I'm in cruise control there, okay? And when I'm ready, I can go ahead and click this button right over here. The hand's free, so hang tight. Once I press it, we're gonna have this little guy here that glows in green, okay? There's 3 different colors: green, blue, and red. Red is we're disengaging. Blue is the vehicle's trying to center. Please keep your hands on the wheel. And green is let go. So at this point, I'm set at 72 miles an hour, okay? The vehicle's driving. If you guys look up front, we're gonna start approaching here a curve. So I'm gonna try to get an image right between the curve and here. It's coming up. But like you guys see, hands free right over here, nothing being touched. And as we approach this curve, what the vehicle's gonna do is that it's gonna go ahead and make that turn for me. So pretty cool, pretty nifty setup. And at this point, the vehicle's driving itself. Now, keep in mind, this will not exit off to any of the exits where you're destined to go to. So make sure that you're obviously paying attention. Now, real quick, let's take a look back to the steering wheel. I mentioned that there's a camera right up front here. This camera reads your eyes, so it reads the eyes. If I start looking at you over here, it's gonna start a timer, and that timer is gonna go ahead and give a vibration to the seat after, I believe it's 15 to 20 seconds, and it's gonna say, hey, Joel, or whoever's driving this is not looking up front, okay? So it uses the heat off of our eyes to go ahead and measure that. So the moment that I start looking away, it'll go ahead and start disengaging. There'll be a vibration. Now, will it completely disengage? Yes and no. It'll disengage to the point where the vehicle will start slowing down. It'll keep you in the lane, and it will come to a complete stop if your eyes don't get right back into that. So in any situation where, I don't know, you know, pass out, have a heart attack, whatever it is, it's going to come to a complete stop, put hazards on, and make sure that you guys are okay. In the event that we're passing someone, automatically the vehicle can't turn its turn signal on, which will go ahead and automatically switch us to that next lane. Automatically will do that if we're approaching another vehicle. And just like that, the vehicle changed lanes completely. I'm gonna go ahead and change lanes back again, but you can actively do it yourself, or the vehicle will automatically do it if it senses that you're getting too close to the vehicle in front of you. because it also uses the adaptive cruise control. Now, at any point during the drive, a light hit on the brake or just grab a hold of the wheel and start taking over, the vehicle will go ahead and disengage the cruise, so you can go ahead and react to any emergency that needs to be handled. So you still have full and complete control of your car at all times. All right, guys. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video tutorial. This kind of covers and encompasses a lot of the vehicle. I really do appreciate you guys working with me. I hope you guys had fun during this interaction. I know it was at a distance, but I enjoy doing stuff like this. So at any point, if you guys have a friend or family member that might be interested in something like this, heck, send them my way, have them give me a quick ring. I want to make sure I get them taken care of too. But the other thing for my YouTube audience, as well as for Instagram, TikTok, and all that, guys, if you guys like the content, like, follow, subscribe, all that stuff, and stay tuned for the next Chevy Nerd shenanigans. Later.